So let's talk about how to meditate. Meditation is something that there are misconceptions about when people start a spiritual journey. They think it's a Buddhist monk sitting in cross-legged pose with their hands on their knees and eyes closed and just sitting there and focusing on their mind, not doing much else. That's one form of meditation. It's the form of meditation I learned, I started with. I started in college. When I went to college, I found books on Buddhism, and I do not remember how I was drawn to them, but I was trying to deal with trauma. I remember that, trying to deal with trauma from my childhood in secret, trying to heal myself, and found and was guided towards the name was Lama Surya Das, I believe. It's been a really long time, 20 years since I read the books, but I read a series of books on Buddhism and techniques and meditations, and then I started devouring other stuff on Buddhism and the techniques and meditations of how to meditate. And it was very much about sitting alone, sitting, in a focused state of mind. And although there were different meditative techniques, most of them were you sit on the ground, you cross your legs, and you focus. You might chant or do something like that, but meditation is not that. Meditation is life. Life is meditation. Life can be meditation anyway. And you can meditate while you're cooking. You can meditate while you're exercising. You can meditate while you're doing creative work. You can meditate while you're doing the dishes. You can meditate while you're dancing. Meditation is simply the art of focusing your mind on the task at hand, focusing your mind, clearing out the rest of your day, clearing out the energy, not allowing your mind or the outside world to distract you. And there are different forms of it to accomplish different things. You can even use it in a form of dance or cooking to connect with guides, to speak with the universe, to do those sorts of things. But typical meditation is going to be sort of more of the Buddhist style meditation where you're sitting or relaxing is the word I would use, relaxing in a way that allows you to relax, which means you can sit cross-legged, you can sit in a chair, you can sit in a recliner, you can sit on a couch, you can lay on a couch, lay on a bed, lay on the floor. When I meditate laying on the floor. More recently, I've been using my salt baths as my meditation space. I don't meditate often, but that's a good way for me to meditate. And when I say I don't meditate often, what I mean is I have become so connected that if I need to meditate, my guides say, sit down and meditate for us. Meditate so we can do some work. I do a lot of work while I'm in like a half sleep state. I get into a meditative space and I travel. I do meditations in other ways, but I don't often just sit down and go, I'm going to meditate today every day for, a lot of people schedule it and they say, first thing in the morning, I'm going to meditate for 20 minutes and sit down and do it. That's not me. You don't have to do that. There are a lot of people will say you have to meditate and schedule it every day. You don't have to. You want to meditate as much as you can when you're beginning, because you want to raise your vibration, your focus. Your focus is the big thing. I honestly, I don't care if you don't do anything else when it comes to meditation, but learn how to focus. If you learn how to focus your mind, you can meditate anywhere. You can meditate on the bus, you can meditate while taking a walk, you can meditate while driving a car. I've been astrally pulled away from my car while driving it to see a dragon before. I'm not recommending it. Obviously, if you're doing a task that requires safety, don't do it purposefully. But at that moment, my guides were like, yeah, you'll be okay. Just, we need you to go see this dragon, very powerful. But I was still able to do both at the same time. Meditation is not just about sitting down. I know a lot of people ask about kids, like, hey, I have kids and I have trouble doing this because you have a life. You have, I designed my life to be this way. I designed my life to be simple and at some point hope to experience children. But right now, to date, 37 years old, my partner used to work 80 hours, wasn't really at home a lot. And I spent a lot of time by myself. So I've just lived by myself, always being able to be very in the flow and be like, oh, I'll meditate now or I won't. But when I was doing work and I was working with guides and gods, it was very important, very specific. You will meditate 3 times a day. You will meditate 4 times a day. You will do this. You will do that in order to build trust and learn the techniques that I did. So there is some aspect of discipline that if you bring in a being that you're going to work with, that you understand there are requirements of sitting down and working with them, not just sitting down once and then letting it go. But from a standpoint of a busy schedule, you can multitask. Multitasking, what I say is like, hey, you're going to take a bath, take a salt bath. Multitask with your clearing, your cleansing, your energy reclamation, your programming the water, and doing a meditation in the water while you're in there. Multitask if you're doing dishes. Use the dishes as a time to breathe in deeply, focus your mind, clear out, dancing. Take the little moments and turn them into meditation so that life becomes a meditation. It doesn't have to be typically sitting in a room, but when you're starting out, sitting in a room by yourself in spiritual solitude, meditating in a relaxed state, whether that means you're laying on the floor, sitting in a chair, sitting cross-legged, standing up, it doesn't matter to me, as long as you're in a relaxed state and you're focusing your mind, even just for 5 minutes a day. If you can, most people can steal 5 minutes a day if they look at their schedule and shift it a little bit. If you do that consistently 5 minutes a day, you'll build focus. If you do a focus meditation, and there's focus meditations in here that I'll talk about, you do that 5 minutes a day, you'll build the skill set, you'll connect to spirit. It's better than doing trying to fit an hour meditation in because some a spiritual person is saying, hey, you have to meditate and you should be doing an hour a day and this is why. And then you put an hour in a day, but you have kids and you have a job and you have all this other stuff you have to do. Within a week, that hour is going to drop off because you're going to look at your priorities and go, well, I have to take care of all this and that's going to go away. Rather than do that, do 5 minutes a day. Just 5 minutes a day. Build your skill set, build your focus, build your habit. And then when you are doing 5 minutes a day, see if you can crank it up to 10 minutes a day. See if you can crank it up a little bit at a time to do more. And you don't need 30 minutes to speak with your guides. You can do it all in 5 minutes. Time doesn't exist in those forms of meditation. It exists in our world and getting to those spaces sometimes, but it does not exist in that world. You can cram a long journey into 5 minutes. I've had 5-minute meditations that seem like 30, 40 minutes. I've also had meditations that are 30, 40 minutes and seem like 5 minutes. Time is different. So just when you're starting out, it's very important to practice the tool of meditation. It's a tool. Again, you don't have to do it. You can connect through a variety of different ways, doing different techniques and things. But meditation, there's a reason it is a tool in culture after culture, practice after practice, described as different things, used in different ways. And that's because it gets you into a focused state of mind and allows you to access higher than your 3D self. So it's something you're going to want to consider utilizing as a tool to help you with your practice. And to understand, you can outgrow the tool. There are people who will tell you you have to do this every day. You can outgrow it because the goal is not for the tool to be the lifelong, like, this is the thing you have to use every day. The goal is for life to be a meditation, not to just do a meditation 5 minutes a day, but for life to be the meditation, which means when you start focusing like that, you're going to start realizing, yes, hey, I'm talking to my guides in meditation, I'm seeing visions, I'm hearing voices, those sorts of things. The more you start to focus and implement that in your life, you're going to start realizing, wait, I'm cooking and it's happening while I'm cooking, and I focus my mind and I'm breathing, or I'm doing dishes, or I'm taking a shower, or I'm dancing, or I'm driving the car. You get to a point where your guides will tell you, just like one guide told me out in the desert, it took me a while to even accept it. You don't need to meditate anymore. You can hear us, see us, feel us, talk to us, be with us, surround yourself with us without ever going into a meditation. And then I realized it finally clicked after a while. I was like, oh yeah, I don't need the meditation. The meditation is a tool. I still use it. It's just like you can outgrow a hammer. You can get a nail gun. You'll still use the hammer from time to time. I still use meditation. I use meditation where I need more focus, where I want to do specific work. If I'm astral traveling, I pretty much go into a meditation. Now, I might not go into the way I'm going to teach you is through relaxation, through focus, and some other techniques. I don't do all those anymore myself because I can just snap right in and out. To explain one scenario, when I was with my ex-partner, I was sitting in my recliner, she was on the couch, and Garut, who is an elephant humanoid ET, had pinged me and said, hey, I want to show you something. And I said, okay. And I was like, do I need to meditate? And my guys were like, no, just close your eyes. And I just closed my eyes, took like 3 deep breaths, and poof, I traveled. I traveled to where I needed to go. I was able to jump right there because I was so used to it. It was so automatic because I had done the meditations for a year or two. I had done the work for a year or two and programmed it and made it automatic. And so I went, just sitting in the chair. TV was on, she was doing something, I don't remember, and I just closed my eyes and poof, off I go. I come back 5-10 minutes later and I get into my body and I open my eyes and I'm just like, breathing in, rebalancing. And she looks over and she goes, where did you go? And I go, what do you mean? And she's like, I felt you leave. And I was like, oh yeah, I left. I took off and went to another world astrally. So it gets automatic. It gets to a point where you don't need to sit down, go through a relaxation, focus your mind, and do all these things because it's automatic. And that's the whole point. Meditation is a tool to program you, to do things just boom, 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 and to know what you're doing. But it's also a tool to help you focus on the times you need to focus. And there are going to be times that if you do spiritual work in the sense of meeting a goddess, for example, like Lady Death, who I talk about with my death work, meeting her, you can't do that without meditating. You can't just do it. You have to go into a meditative state. You have to tune to her energy. She teaches you in an astral plane, and your body cannot have any, you have to make your body melt away, which is part of the relaxations I'll teach you. Your body has to melt away so there's no distraction, so you can focus 1000%. So it's not like you can be cooking and doing it at the same time. I'm sure at advanced levels, yeah, but when you're learning this, you're going to be meditating to relax your body, to focus, and to meet these other beings. And as you meditate, you're going to start to glow. You're going to start to raise your vibration naturally. You'll realize things about yourself. You'll heal yourself. Your guides will talk to you. It's really like a Swiss Army knife tool when I describe the salt baths as a Swiss Army knife. The meditation is the same thing. You can do a ton of work in it. It is not just one thing. It is not just about focusing your mind, clearing your thoughts. It is not just about talking to guides. It is not just about dealing with trauma. It's everything. It is consciousness. It is your gateway into consciousness, which means your gateway to billions, if not trillions, if not numbers more, of other energies and beings who can teach you things that I don't know about, that my friends don't know about, because they're a being that you meet and they teach you something that you can teach someone else. And it might be like my past when I was doing a lot of intense work for the books and for them, doing things I never imagined existed, doing dream inception, memory retrieval, soul recovery, gridding light, forest fire, restoring fields of forest that were deforested by fire or deforested by man, doing, healing work, doing all these different things. You can't even begin to imagine the things you can learn by going into a true meditation where your body melts away and you're able to meet these beings, because they can teach you so much more than you can imagine. And people like me are just the tip of the iceberg. We're just here standing above the water, showing you that there is more below it, showing you that there's an entire universe out there that you can learn from, and that you will learn things you have never heard of in books previously, from people on the internet. You will meet beings who can teach you tons and tons and tons of different cultures, different technologies, different ways of life, different techniques. There are people like Reiki. A lot of people go to Reiki for healing. They're like, Reiki is the healing. It's like, no. There are millions of techniques for healing, and everybody has their own. You don't have to use Reiki. Everybody can do their own, and it's all soul knowledge, and it's all knowledge that you can learn from your guides and other beings who come to you to teach you their techniques that are often more powerful than those that are publicized. So meditation is the tool. It is a very powerful tool, and you don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to do an hour a day. You start with 5 minutes a day. But it is a powerful tool for you to integrate into your spirituality. And if you're not already doing that, I urge you to start doing that with some of these basic meditations I'll go through next. And these meditations I go through next will be things you can listen to. I'll do a recording, and then I'll do an actual meditation recording of it. So like a description, and then go into the meditation itself. But just practice patience, persistence, keep trying, use the tool, see how it helps you. And then the goal is through this to get you in touch with other beings. So if you follow these practices, you will get in touch with other beings. Now, a couple basics. So when you are meditating, you want to be distraction free if you can find distraction free environment, free of sound, noise, that sort of thing. You can put music on if you want to. Be cautious of the frequencies and stuff that you use, and the music you use. It should be soothing music, relaxing. If you want to use frequencies to help you, use solfeggio frequencies, and allow yourself to utilize those in the ways they're meant to be used. That's a different topic altogether. I think I touch on that in sound in a previous video. But try to keep yourself distraction free. Get yourself into a relaxed state physically, which means you can lay down, you can sit, you can whatever's relaxing to you. For me, it's laying down and not having any pressure anywhere on me, just laying on the ground. And then close your eyes so you're not seeing anything from the outside world. And then you breathe in deeply. And when you breathe in deep through your nose and out through your mouth, and steady. And breathe with your diaphragm, which is the bottom, like by your belly button and stuff. Don't breathe with your lungs where your chest lifts, that's something I've had to work on in my life, breathing with my chest or breathing with my diaphragm. So the more you breathe with your diaphragm, for some of you it might be hard, it might feel like exhausting exercise. It gets better the more you do it, and especially in meditation, you build strength doing that. But breathe in through your nose, out your mouth, and focus on that breath in, breath out, and that's a very good way of focusing your mind when you are doing a meditation. But those are the two important things with it, is that you're comfortable, relaxed, and you're breathing in through your nose and out your mouth if you can. And let's get started. Let's go into a meditation. We're going to learn some basics here first. Thank you all for watching. You have my deepest gratitude, and I love you all.